Hello everyone and welcome back to Pittsburgh Vader. I know it's been a while, so I'm going to see what I can get done. I haven't done much work in the last month or so. I've been really busy and just haven't had time to work. I've got some little things done, a little bit of body work here and there, but really nothing worth filming and showing you guys. So I'm going to start working on the trunk area back there and hopefully get the latch and everything installed and working with the key fob and everything. And then I'll just keep working from there, move along, probably finish up that door, but I'm not really sure. Don't really have a plan besides getting this trunk ready. So I'm going to do that and then we'll see what else I do. Alright, so I have the latch temporarily mounted up here. I'm going to have to switch out the hardware I'm using. It's right now I just have self-tappers in there to test it out, but I'm going to change that out. So down here I have the latch in. It's basically I just made a plate that bolted it onto the bar. There's that bracket I made. It's just a piece of steel, bent it to shape and bolted on the latch itself. That's in a good position, it's sturdy. And then this latch just comes down into that. Still have to adjust it, make sure it's lined up right, but it is pretty much how it needs to be. I'll keep working on that and show you guys how it looks after. Okay, so we put the car up on the jacks. I'm going to take the rear wheels back off and finish up the inner wheel wells on either side and hopefully get those undercoated. I'm just going to use this stuff. It's a 3M rubberized undercoating. I'm just going to use that on the whole inside of the wheel wells and it'll pretty much just seal it up, make it waterproof, stuff like that. It's fiberglass, so it's already waterproof, but this will just even everything out, make it look good, and it'll help with sound deadening too. I'm also doing that sound deadening on the top, but this will help with that and it will make it even and black under there like it's supposed to be. So I'm going to do that and finish up the fiberglass on both sides and then be done with these. And with it up on the jacks like this, it also gives me more room on the back here so I can work with fitting that center tail light and the trim pieces all around here and getting that stuff situated so I can install it and then paint and prime behind there, then reinstall it, all that kind of stuff. So here's what I have so far. I have pretty much all of this side done up to about here. On the outside, the part that's laminated to the car itself is all the way around, and that's done on here. I have to finish on the inside here, go all the way up and around all that. I did fiberglass it on the top side, so it's already waterproof, but I want to get it level. That way you don't have this lip and there is metal there, so I'm going to probably prime over that first, then fiberglass, and then I can undercoat it. It is about 10 degrees down here, so I'm not going to be able to do this all in one day. I'm not sure how long the fiberglass is going to take to dry since it is freezing down here. So we'll just have to see. If I get it done this weekend, then I'll show you the undercoating. If not, then I'll do that next week. Unfortunately, I forgot to press record for the time lapse, but I did get the rest of the fiberglass up in here. I'm going to leave that open for right now because I'm not sure exactly what I should do. I might bend that up before I fiberglass it so it's more level. But I skipped that little area and then fiberglassed everything else. So I'm going to let that dry, see how long it takes, and then just keep working on from there. Alright, so I'm still going to have to keep messing with it, but that is the basic placement of the center tail light and the middle trim piece. You have to add tabs to the back. I showed in a different video how I'm going to do that. So those aren't in, so the bottom of this can still move freely, but I did screw in the top tabs up there and just drilled the holes for this. Temporarily sat it in there. I didn't bolt it in or anything. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap between the tail light and the center light on both sides. So either this needs to go in more or these need to come out a little bit more. I'm assuming and thinking that these need to come out because the way I was doing it before is I put the lights in before the trim pieces, but if you look at those tabs, those have to be screwed in before the lights. So that would change the position of the taillights themselves. So I'm going to probably try taking these back out, installing those side trim pieces, and then putting these back in, see if that levels it out anymore. And if it does, then we're all good. If not, then I'll have to keep messing with it, get it all level and flush back here. But all in all, it's coming together pretty nice. The back looks nice. I haven't wired any of that yet. It's just sitting in there. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on this kind of stuff. And in the future, I will be tinting these to match these. It's just right now I didn't. These came tinted and I just never got around to tinting these yet. So I will be doing that, just not now. Sometime in the future. Also, this piece here that's wrapped, I'm actually going to be unwrapping it. As you can see, it's actually sitting on a box for dipyourcar.com. I actually bought Plasti-Dip and I'm going to be Plasti-Dipping the car. I have primer too, so the way I'm going to be going about it, and another guy told me about this who's building a Vaydor, did it the same way. What he did is he primed it first and then Plasti-Dipped over, and it worked real well. So that's probably the route I'm going to go with, so I don't have to worry too much about getting the paint right, because Plasti-Dip is a more DIY friendly, so I'm going to be able to prime it, sand it down, make it all perfectly smooth, and then Plasti-Dip it, and hopefully everything turns out nicely. If it doesn't, then I'll just peel it all off and do something else. But I'm confident on the Plasti-Dip. I've used it before, so hopefully it gives me good results. The color I'm going with is their shark skin gray. I'll put a picture of it somewhere up here, and you guys can look at that, see how it looks. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to like that color. It's the closest to Nardo I could find on their site. So if I don't like it, then I'll just peel it off, do a different color. They have thousands of options to choose from. That's just the one I decided to go with. So if it does work, look good and everything, then I'll just be sticking with that. Alright, I came back to here. It's been about 4 or 5 hours, and the stuff is still pretty tacky. So I'm assuming it's going to take a long time to dry since it is so cold down here. I'm going to let it dry overnight and see how that turns out. And if it's not dry by then I am going to have to wait for another weekend and work on that. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. And I know I did stop posting videos for a little over a month. And then I got a lot of comments and people asking if I stopped working on the car, if the build is dead. And no, I'm not going to stop on this build. I will finish this build eventually. I just have stuff going on that I really didn't have time to work on this. I did get another car. It's a daily driver, so nothing special. But I did have to get some stuff done on that so I could get it inspected so I could drive it. But other than that, I do have some other stuff that I do need to do throughout the next couple months. So if I do take a break, don't worry, I will be back. I will start making videos again. It's just I might have to take a break here or there to get some other stuff done. Alright, so it's the next day and the fiberglass has hardened, so that's good. I'm going to trim up all these leftover little strands, and then I'm going to try a small section of the undercoating and see how it works, see if it'll actually dry, because as I said, it is very, very cold down here and our heater's broken. We're getting a new heater in the next week or so, but we just don't have it right now. So if I can't heat the garage and the undercoating won't dry on the small section that I tried on, then I'm going to wait until the next week and get that done whenever I can warm it up down here. There we go. I got the entire inside of the wheel well undercoated with the first layer. As you see, I did mess up a little bit. I'm gonna have to sand that back down. I was trying to film at the same time I was spraying, and I kind of just lost control of where I was spraying the can, and mistakes happen. So yeah, I'll get rid of that. Not too big of a deal. But overall, it turned out pretty good. You can see the lines and stuff from the edges of the fiberglass, but that's not a big deal at all. That'll pretty much, you'll never see it. But yeah, I'm going to let that dry, maybe add another coat or two, but it's looking good. And alright, so with that, that's going to effectively end this video. So as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.